Hello, I'm Mariette, and this series is all about job interviews and public speaking in general. Today we are looking at an aspect of health. A speaker cannot deliver their best if not strong and healthy. Ellie Rome joined us in an online interview from Austin in Texas. Ellie is a holistic health coach, and she gave us some excellent advice on how to be on top form for your next interview. Let's hear what she had to say. Now, Ellie, I never even realized that one has a relationship with your food, but I believe that is really very important.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that introduction, Mariette. And yes, this shifted my whole life, is recognizing that we do have a relationship with food. I was a chemical engineer on that path, but I was a sugar addict my whole life and felt really out of control when it came to eating. I was eating out of stress, eating to numb out, and now see that in so many people. I've become a coach since then and been able to watch people transform their lives by transforming their relationship with food. And so often we do use food to numb out, to escape from life stress. And when you can overcome that and develop a really healthy relationship with food, it can transform everything.
You know, as a speaker, or when you stand up to present in front of an audience or even online, you really need to exert a lot of energy. Not only energy for yourself, but you also have to keep your audience engaged all the time. So you really give a lot of yourself. How can you advise us on to keep up, to maintain those energy levels?
Yes, I love this question because, as a speaker, energy is everything. And I think also, first thing, appearance is so much, because that gives us so much credibility as you show up. I mean, people do, as much as we don't want to admit that we do, we judge people immediately when we see them. And if you are showing up and you have this low energy, you're feeling fatigued, you're maybe, not in the best shape, or just feel not even good in yourself, like, people can feel that, people can see that. And so food is one of the biggest drivers of that low energy, of chronic fatigue, of not showing up the way you want to show up. And so often we're eating things that we don't even realize are completely draining our energy. And first things are sugar. So sugar, what happens is when we eat a ton of sugar, we're on this blood sugar roller coaster all day long. So you eat something that's high carb or high sugar that basically breaks down in the body like sugar. You spike your blood sugar up, and then what happens? It comes crashing down, and then you feel tired, you're craving more sugar, feel irritable, not able to focus well, and then you're craving sugar, so you go eat more or more carbs, and then you're back up, and then you crash down. And as a speaker, we want sustainably high energy. We want to be able to show up all the time in our fullest expression. And to do that, we've got to balance our blood sugar. That's number one. And then the other thing that I see with so many people that drains their energy are high inflammatory foods. So that's things like processed oils, that's like soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oils, and anything that's causing your body inflammation. So foods like, for many people, gluten, dairy, soy, grains, a lot of these foods you may think are healthy, like whole wheat bread or low-fat yogurt, but in reality can cause a lot of disruption in your gut. And any inflammation in the body, it basically is taking the energy that you should have to be able to go, study, speak, whatever you want to be able to do. Well, all that energy is being devoted to fighting fires in your body that are happening from these inflammatory foods. So I'm not saying all of these may be causing you inflammation, but for so many people, they are. So it's figuring out what foods are your trigger foods and bringing that inflammation down. And the easiest way, to really start creating that like proper diet is getting back to what we used to eat. So more ancestrally, like real food, getting away from processed food. As I mentioned, sugar, being really aware of what you're putting in your body and how you feel after that. And I think a lot of us lose that association that food equals energy, food equals mood. It's so directly correlated. And so you can start paying attention, like, okay, I ate lunch today and I had this, like, I felt tired, I felt fatigued, I wanted to take a nap afterwards. that's your body telling you something. Just because you may feel that every day doesn't mean it's normal. And so it's starting to say, like, I want to feel energized from food. What are the foods that I eat that I feel like I eat and I'm ready to go? Not the ones that are like, I'm bloated, I want to go take a nap. And so again, it's just tuning into your own body's response to food and start experimenting and say, like, what are my high energy foods? What are my low energy foods? And start adding those high energy foods in.
Is sugar addiction a real illness?
Yes, in my opinion, absolutely. Being a sugar addict myself, like, I think it is definitely on a spectrum. And I think cravings, many people have cravings, and then as it goes up the spectrum, you can really have an addiction. I felt completely out of control when it came to eating sugar. I'd have just a little bit and my brain would spark up, and it was like I couldn't get it out of my head. And I just would end up binging, especially at nighttime, which I see with a lot of my clients. Nighttime is like this witching hour, and a lot of it's because we're stressed all day long. And then it's like, oh, yes, relief. Where can I get pleasure? Where can I get a dopamine hit? And sugar is like one of the most socially acceptable ways to do that. And so a lot of us seek it out, and it does become addictive. It becomes a dependency. And one thing with addiction is also withdrawal symptoms. And I don't know if any of your listeners have quit sugar before or tried to stop eating sugar and high carb foods. There's definitely a withdrawal period where you get headaches and fatigued, and it's your body detoxing just like you would a drug, or if you've ever tried to quit caffeine or anything, alcohol, having a hangover. You basically have a sugar hangover. And so sugar addiction is absolutely a real thing.
Going into a job interview is like running a marathon. Even before you accept the invitation, whether it's in person or virtual, you'll have to start training. Physical fitness is the only real cornerstone for maintaining a sharp mind. Send me your questions about interviewing skills and public speaking in general. And we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Post your questions on LinkedIn to Mariette Richardson, or email them to mariette@myvoiceuk.com and include a photo. Or ask your question in person in a short video clip. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more tips and say goodbye to performance uncertainty.